here for example 1, we're going to have to sketch and find coterminal angles. So what we're going to do is we're going to find it first, and then we're going to sketch it. So you have a positive angle, 9 pi over 4. And remember what we said before is you could either add or subtract, but in this case the directions say you need to subtract 2 pi to find a coterminal angle. So we're going to subtract 2 pi. Now when you subtract 2 pi, that's over 1. So you're going to need to multiply top and bottom by a 4. So you get a common denominator. And when you do that, you get a 9 pi over 4 minus 8 pi over 4, which gives you 9 minus 8 is a 1/4 pi, or same thing as a pi over 4. Now you should know where pi over 4 is. So when we want to graph this, pi over 4 is just this angle going up here to the right. It's your 45-degree angle. So here is your pi over 4. And as you go from here up, that's pi over 4. Now if you go around your circle, remember if you start at this point, if you add 2 pi, so if you go from here all the way back around, that would give you a 9 pi over 4, which is the same thing as a pi over 4. So let's look at another example here. Say you have a negative angle. So you have negative angle. Negative angles, remember, go clockwise around your graph. You need to add 2 pi to obtain a coterminal angle. So we're going to start with a negative 3 pi over 4. And what we're going to do is it says to add 2 pi. So if we add 2 pi, let's see, this is over 1. You need to get a common denominator, which is going to be a 4. So multiply by 4. Multiply top by 4. And you get negative 3 pi over 4 plus an 8 pi over 4. And what you can get is a 5 pi over 4. So 5 pi over 4, you have to think about where 5 pi over 4 is. 5 pi over 4 is in the third quadrant. I'll give you a little hint. If it's over 4, remember it has to be one of our 45-degree angles here. So it's going to be in the third quadrant, coming down like so. This is 5 pi over 4. So if you were to go in the positive direction, from here over to here, that's a distance of 5 pi over 4. So we'll call this like our alpha angle. Well, if you go in the negative direction, remember negative direction would be going from here to here, that is a negative 3 pi over 4, because negatives go in clockwise direction. So think about this. If you get rid of the negative, if you just make that a positive, if you think about the absolute values, wouldn't that make sense that a 5 pi over 4 plus a 3 pi over 4 would give you a 8 pi over 4, which is a 2 pi, which would give you the total distance around. So you have this red here and this angle beta going this way. Well, if you add those all together, that gives you 2 pi. So that would give you your full circle. Last one here for example 1. Let's try the positive angle 5 pi over 6. And I don't care, you can either add or subtract. So actually let's do both. So if I want to add a 2 pi, this is going to be over 1. So I need to multiply this so you get a times 6 times 6. So we're going to get 5 pi over 6. Whoops. Make that green here. We're going to get a 5 pi over 6. Why is that not turning green? Third time, 5 pi over 6 plus a 12 pi over 6. And that, if you add those together, that's a 17 pi over 6. Okay, 17 pi over 6. So there is one potential coterminal angle. Now you're not going to have just one answer unless it tells you to add or subtract, okay, like it did in A and B, because there are so many coterminal angles. You could have this 5 pi over 4 and you could go around another time, add 2 pi, add another 2 pi, add another 2 pi, so you're adding 6 pi and 8 pi and not 10 pi and on and on and on. So you can have multiple attempts here, different coterminal angles. Well, let's say we have a 5 pi over 6 and we want to subtract 2 pi. So it's going to be over 6. We're going to take 5 pi over 6 and we're going to subtract 12 pi over 6. So that would give us a negative 7 pi over 6. Remember, all negative angles do is they just go clockwise. Positives go counterclockwise. So we need to graph 5 pi over 6. 5 pi over 6 would be over here in your second quadrant. That's where 5 pi over 6 is. And if we want to, we added a 2 pi here, so let's add 2 pi. That means we're going counterclockwise. If you add 2 pi, that's going to give you a 17 pi over 6. It's the same point though. Same point, it's just another way to write the same point. If we want to subtract 2 pi, that means we're going to go out and around. That's a nice circle. We're going to subtract 2 pi. That gives us a negative 7 pi over 6. Okay, because the distance from here up to there is going to be negative 7 pi over 6. So there are multiple ways you can find coterminal angles. This will probably take a little more practice on our part, but don't worry. I think I got some good problems for you in your homework.